students. Okay, to know the progress of the students, all these tests are done. Next, a non-standardized test is one that is not given of the people initially to standardize it. Okay, so this test we do not formulate and one test and we do not go and see for we do not go and do standardization. Okay, so we formulate it and we give it. Okay? So that is one. We do not standardize it. Then the most common types of tests that are not standardized are the classroom tests given by teachers all the time. Okay, so as I have already explained. Uses of non-standardized tests to know the ability and achievement of students, I have already explained, helps the teacher to assess the strength and weakness of the student. Again, I have already explained to know which student is good in studies, which student is weak. Okay, it will give a rough idea to the teacher. Motivates the students. Yes, you are doing a test, you did bad, but your friend did good. So you will be motivated to study more for the next test, right? So this non-standardized test, it motivates the student. Provides continuous evaluation and feedback to the teacher. Same like the first 2 points. If you know the ability and achievement, the strength and weakness means it is giving feedback and evaluation of the student to the teacher. Then helps to achieve particular objectives. Okay, there are some objectives for every lesson, for every unit there are some objectives. So we can achieve those objectives with the help of this test. Then help the teacher to adopt better instructed methods. Okay, suppose now I am taking class, I took a test and all of you failed. That means the problem is either with me or you people are not studying or you people are not understanding what I am teaching. Okay, so I will try to incorporate different methods of teaching. Okay, so this test helps the teacher to incorporate different methods. Okay, next, limitations. Okay, what are the limitations of this test? Tests are often ambiguous and unclear. Sometimes what happens when a teacher formulates a lengthy question, okay, then sometimes it becomes ambiguous or unclear. Okay, you cannot understand what the teacher is actually intending to ask the student. So it becomes a difficulty for the student or those test takers to answer that question. So okay, that is one of the limitations. Next, they are either too short or too lengthy. I have already said in characteristic of test, a test cannot be too short or cannot be too lengthy. But what happens, sometimes different teachers are formulating different tests, right? So sometimes we cannot help it and it becomes either too short or too lengthy. Next, tests do not cover the entire content. So it happens most of the time. You are studying one content so much, but from that content, not even one question came, and from the other topic, the whole your question paper was formulated based on the other topic. Okay, some 2 3 topics were left behind. It happens most of the time, right? So this is one of the limitations. Supervision is not proper. Then lot of scope for copying. Yes, there may be a lot of scope for copying. Next, what is the difference between standardized and non-standardized tests? Let's see. Frequency. Standardized test is infrequent. We do not use this frequently. However, non-standardized tests are used frequently in classroom, in colleges, in schools, everywhere to evaluate the students' performance. Then reliability in standardized tests, I have already said, reliability is very high. However, in non-standardized tests, reliability is not known. It can be high sometimes if it is carefully constructed, or it can be low. So if a teacher is not very serious or while constructing the test. Next, administration and scoring. Standardized procedure. Specific instruction provided for the standardized test. I have already said everything that you are doing for standardized test is standardized. It has been pre-tested from before. However, in non-standardized tests, it is flexible. We can according to the situation we can change. Okay. Then uniform, however, uniform procedure possible. The uniform procedure possible means the format or the scoring. For example, we will give two long questions for 15 marks. Okay, for two, that means 30 marks will give long questions. Then so in that way format has been set. Okay, if you give an exam, then if you remember your exam, your BSc, your graduate time, then you might be remembering the construction of the test is same. Okay, so that is uniform for all. Okay. Norms for comparison, have norms allowing wider comparison of achievement. Okay, so we can compare, like some norms are there on which we can compare the achievement of the students for the standardized test. For non-standardized tests, only teacher have their students for comparison. Only the teacher can compare. Okay, like while taking the test, while checking the papers, a teacher will know, oh, this student is writing this answer properly, and this student is not writing the answer properly. So there is a comparison somehow, and this can be done by teachers. Next, I have been speaking about validity from the beginning of my class. So now let's see what actually is validity. So validity is the accuracy with which a test measures what it is intended or supposed to measure. As I have already said, a validity is that the test actually measures what it is supposed to measure. Suppose a test is supposed to measure pain and it is measuring something else. So that is not, that means that test is not valid. Okay. Next, the validity of a test must determine with reference to the particular use for which the test is being considered. Okay, for whatever the test is being formulated, it has to be determined and it has to uh, test only that. Then the validity pertains to the result of a test.